Greetings to you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is Dr. Shamin Eabenson. So we are discussing about the life of Daniel. So in the first part, we discussed about the plot against Daniel. In part 2, we discussed about Daniel in the lion's den. And part 3, we discussed about Daniel saved from the lions. This is part 4. And here we are going to see how King Darius honors the God of Daniel. My dear friends, you know the story. So Daniel, he was one of the governors who were trained by King Darius. So, in a group of 120 satraps and 3 governors, Daniel was one of the 3 governors. He was excellent in whatever he did. All the others, they were jealous and envious about him, and they planned and plotted to finish him off. So they understood that because Daniel was a religious man and that he will never forsake or leave his God, they thought of a plan and they told the king that they're going to make a statue of the king, and for the next 30 days everyone in the kingdom must not bow before any other god, but they must bow only before the statue of the king. Because Daniel was not an idol worshipper, he did not do it, but instead he went to his upper room, opened the windows and faced Jerusalem, and he knelt down and prayed to the living God 3 times. When the enemy saw this, they went and complained to the king, and because the king had already issued a decree, because the rule that was the law that is framed by Medes and the Persians, they could not alter it. Even though the king loved Daniel, he was helpless, and Daniel was put in the lion's den, and they closed the stone. The next day, the night king couldn't sleep. The next day, he went he went to this lion's den to look what was happening. Yes, they saw that he heard a voice, and that was Daniel saying that, I am still alive. Look at this. Just in the case of Jesus, when they put him in the tomb on the 3rd day, early, the disciples and they went to see the tomb early in the morning. Here also early in the morning, the king arose and went in front of the lion's den, and when the stone was rolled away, they saw, yes, Daniel who was alive. Similarly, the stone was rolled away and Jesus was not in the tomb. He is risen. He is not there. The same way, let that be your testimony. When the world thought that they have put you in a cave, they have put you in a fix, they thought that they have planned and conspired against you, that the world will no longer see you. They thought that all the plans have succeeded because of the false cases, accusations and everything. You will not see the light of the world. But instead, what happened? My dear friend, just like in the case of Daniel, your situation has changed, and now that is your testimony. Now look at what Darius, how this miracle transformed the life of the king. In Daniel chapter 6 verse 24, you can see that, and the king gave the command, and they brought those men who had accused Daniel. Look at this. And the king gave command, and they brought those men who had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions. Them, their children, and their wives, and the lions overpowered them and broke all their bones in pieces before they ever came to the bottom of the den. Oh, look at this. The king, he understood that the God that Daniel was serving was a living God. That is why God sent his angel and closed the mouths of the lions and protected the life of Daniel. This transformed the king. He immediately found out the people who were responsible for the plot against Daniel, who were the people who wanted Daniel dead. What did the king do? He commanded, and they brought those men who had accused Daniel. Oh, the people that accused you, my dear friend, they will be brought before the king. They'll be brought before justice. They'll be brought before the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And look what happened. The king cast them into the same den of lions. Not only them, their children and their wives. And what did the lions do? The lions overpowered them and broke all their bones in pieces before they ever came to the bottom of the den. Oh, what a situation. What a tragedy. Look what happened there. Only the accusers, their family, the children, their wives, all were put into the same lion's den. And what was the difference in the reaction? Yes, these lions devoured them. They broke all their bones. Yes, the lions overpowered them. The bodies did not even reach the floor. The only thing that was left after some time were only the bones of this. What happened? Then King Darius wrote to all the peoples, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom, men must tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and steadfast forever. His kingdom is the one which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall endure to the end. He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. Who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions? So this Daniel prospered in the region of Darius, and in the reign of Darius, and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Look at this. What happened? One testimony can change the life of a king and of a nation. When the king understood that, oh, Daniel, he served the one true living God. And look, now it was not Daniel testifying, it was king reciting the testimony of Daniel. Not only that, he instructed and commanded and issued a decree to all the peoples, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth. One testimony of Daniel was enough for the king to declare to every people, every nation, every language that dwelt in all of the earth. Yes. And what was the decree? In every dominion of my kingdom, men must tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and steadfast forever. His kingdom is the one which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall endure to the end. And what does the God of Daniel do? He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and also on earth. The same God who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. My dear friend, that is the same God you serve. You serve the same God of Daniel. And what can your God do? He can deliver you. He can rescue you. Yes, he works signs and wonders in heavens and on earth. Yes, he has delivered Daniel. He will surely deliver you too. And look at this. Just like the king punished the conspirators, you have a God who is the eternal judge. My dear friend, one testimony of Daniel was enough for the transformation of the king, for the king to declare to all the earth to tremble and fear the living God and to accept the Lord thereof Daniel. In the same way, my dear friends, let me tell you, there is only one true God, and his name is Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Jesus Christ is the one true God. He became a living sacrifice for you at the cross of Calvary. 2000 years ago, he was dead. He was crucified, he was dead, he was buried. On the third day, he rose again from the dead. Yes, he ascended into heaven. He will come back again. He has promised to come back quickly. Are you ready to receive him as your Lord and Savior? Are you ready to welcome him, my dear friends? Just like the stone was rolled away and Daniel was taken from the lion's den, the stone was rolled away. The stone was rolled away from the tomb of Jesus. And when the disciples and others went early to the tomb, they did not find Jesus. He had resurrected. He is risen. The tomb is empty. Even in this whole earth, there is only one tomb that is empty. That is the tomb of Jesus Christ. He is alive. He is risen. He is not here. My dear friend, the gospel of Jesus Christ must be preached around the world. just like King Darius issued a command that everybody must bow only before the true living God, and every people, nation on earth must bow and tremble and fear only to the living God, the God of Daniel. In the same way, let me tell you, my dear friend, yes, it is your duty to issue this decree now. My dear friend, it is time to preach the gospel to all the corners of the earth, to all the peoples, all the nations of the earth, and issue a declaration that there is only one true God and his name is Jesus Christ. Accept him and receive every blessing, receive his divine protection. The same God who can rescue Daniel from the lion's den is living, is alive and well.